Hi, welcome to my portfolio presentation. In this presentation, I will be speaking on the reflections and assessments of my industrial attachment which I undertook. My name is Jesse Sapon George. Now, in the following slides, these are the various topics which I will be talking about. The place of internship, the specific department which I worked, the experience and knowledge which I gained throughout my stay, the challenges and innovative solutions which I encountered and also provided respectively. And finally, I will be speaking on my portfolio. Now, graphic design is the art and practice of planning and producing visual contents through the use of text and images. My place of internship is called Good Parents Multimedia. Now, Good Parents Multimedia is a graphic designing company which is aimed at providing solutions to general graphic design problems to solve the needs of its clients and the society as a whole. So, in general, Good Parents Multimedia produces graphic design contents. Now, there are various departments in this working industry. Now, the specific department which I undertook my attachment is called the General Designs and Prints. Now, Good Parents is particularly focused on designing and printing general graphic design works, being it digital, paper prints, large format prints, or t-shirt prints, amongst others. Now, the following are the various experiences and knowledge which I gained throughout my internship. Now, one is the creativity and innovation. The creativity and innovation is all about the ability to conceptualize ideas and designs which are visually appealing to the clients, while they convey the client's desired messages and can be easily consumed by the target audience. So over here, when you are working with a client, you have to consider the client's preference, whilst you, the designer, you also consider your preference, but you have to meet the needs of the client. Now, another experience and knowledge which I gained is the computer and software knowledge. Now, over here, since it is a designing company, we deal with the use of industrial machines like the computer, the large format print, the photocopier machine, the DTG printer, and then the DTF printer. So the use of these familiar software designs helped me gain some experiences. That is, being able to use the Photoshop to edit photos. That is, to talk about retouching of these photos. Also, build up designs that are presentable to the clients, especially when you are given a flyer to design, or a poster to design, or a banner to design. Being a designer and being a creative person, you have to be able to use the Photoshop or any other designing software to produce illuminating or to produce very effective and nice design works. And also being able to operate on other printing machines, such as the use of the large format machine, the DTG machine, and also the photocopier machine, since all these machines are used in producing designing works. Another experience which I gained during my internship is the management of time, or to say time management. Now, when you are a designer, time management is very considerate in your field of work. That is to say, being a designer, sometimes you'll be bombarded with series of design works to produce in a limited given time frame. So you, as a designer, you have to develop some ways and means so as to be able to meet deadlines when the time is due. Now, the management of time talks about the effectiveness of designers being able to prioritize tasks, communicate process or progress to supervisors, and meet deadlines while keeping duties organized So in a series of given tasks to take control of, being a designer, you have to schedule yourself so that you'll be able to produce all these designs within the given time frame. Especially sometimes clients do not provide their needs on time, and therefore demand their works to be presented, or demand their works to be produced in a few given time frame. Now, you, a designer, you have to prioritize yourself and get to know that you have to work within that time. When you take charge of that design works, you, in the first place, taking the work means you are able to produce the work in that given time, whether the time limit is very lengthy or the time limit is very limited. Now, talking about the challenges and innovative solutions which I encountered during my attachment. Now, every designer faces challenges whenever he is working. Some challenges may be greater, while some challenges may be moderate, and some challenges may be below below the designer's skill. Now, talking about these challenges, the first challenge is the client's needs and personal design preferences. Every designer has his style of design. Every designer has his design preferences. Every designer has a watermark, that is to say, a specific style in his design. Now, being a designer, when a client comes to your session to demand for a design work to be produced, being a designer, you have to schedule yourself and get to know that every client also has a need, or your clients have they also have their specific needs, which they ask you to produce their design works for them. Now, taking charge of these clients' needs and personal design preferences, sometimes it becomes very challenging, since you, the designer, you input your design style, whilst the clients also demands their design need to be produced accurately. Now, the solution that was provided to solve such challenges was communicating and explaining design elements and principles with the supervisor and also with the client, to let the client understand why you imputed that design style, especially when you use a specific typography in your design. You sometimes explain to your supervisor, or you explain to your client while that particular type of typography was used in the work, and also meeting the client's need. Since every client has his or her need, whenever you input a design style, you explain to the client to understand with you why you imputed that design style, and explain the concepts behind the design that you produce to match with what they demand for. Another challenge that I encountered during my internship or my industrial attachment is meeting deadlines or deadline schedules. Now, when every designer is given a work, he is supposed to produce the work or provide solution to the design problem in a specific time. Sometimes we are given books to produce. Sometimes we are given banners to produce. Sometimes you are given posters to produce. Now, you, a designer, it may not come in 1 or 2, but maybe in 5 or 4, depending on how you work or on how people know you. Now, meeting deadline schedules talk about being able to work within a certain given time frame. Now, when the design works that are given to you to be produced are very lengthy, you, being a designer, you schedule yourself and produce some time limits within the given time frame. especially when you are producing 1,000 copies of books and the book is being demanded in a week. You have to schedule yourself, especially when you work for 6 hours. Now, since the books are very lengthy, you have to schedule yourself to work in 12 hours so as to meet the client's specified date for the collection of the work. And finally, I'll be speaking on the communication skills, which is also sometimes a challenge that most designers face. Now, sometimes a client comes to your workplace, but the kind of rapport you establish with this client may either deter the client from coming back the next time or let the client come back the next time. Now, the solution that was provided for this challenge was building on confidence level, establishing great rapport with clients, paying attention to clients during conversations, and providing accurate feedback. Now, here are my works which I did during my attachment. Now, we have the e-flyer designs, with one speaking on Nkranza Youth Research Forum and the other speaking on International Women's Day. Now, we also worked on poster designs, and these were some of the works which I executed, speaking on live band show and also a birthday donation to the orphanage. Now, I also designed church posters. During the Easter times, some churches came around demanding for posters for their Easter conventions. Now, this is also a banner design for a harvest luncheon in one of the churches in my community, and this was the design which I produced. Over here is an envelope design. Now, at Good Parents Multimedia, since we deal with general graphic designs, we also have a department for photography. Now, after the photographs are taken, they are brought to the design department where we retouch these photos, and these are samples of the photos which I retouched during my industrial attachment. And this is another session. Now, we also do digital illustration. So these are samples of the works which I executed during my stay in this company. Now, with the digital illustration, it speaks on the use of any designing software to create characters in the form of cartooning or realistic paintings. The field which I executed my works was on cartooning. Thank you very much.